The heart of your teams, the heart of Michigan. Bally Sports Detroit, the heart of the fan.
Live from Ford Field in downtown Detroit on a glorious late November night. Let's get the D4 final started. Here's Grand Rapids South Christian back for the first time in a few years. And here's the Martians of Goodrich, here for the first time ever in the midst of the greatest season in program history. The entire community, it feels like, has filed into Ford Field tonight after showing them off and showing out for them just a few days ago, right before the Thanksgiving holiday. This is what makes the MHSAA football final so special. A traditional power against a newbie. High school football on Bally Sports Detroit, proudly presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. We're going to have a good one in D4 tonight. Goodrich against Grand Rapids South Christian, a familiar face against somebody new. Alongside Rob Rubick and the rest of our great Bally Sports crew, Evan Stockton with you. Rob, Goodrich is having the greatest season they've ever had, but they are no Cinderella story. They've got a heck of a coaching staff, and they have got the Jimmies and the Joes, led by one of the finer running backs in the state of Michigan.
Well, this Jimmy's name is actually Jace. That's Jace Simerson, number 30. He is the one that makes this offense go. There's a lot of old coaches in the state of Michigan right now saying, man, I'm looking forward to watching Goodrich play because they're an old school, power eye, smash you in the face type of team. They're going to keep hitting you, and see how you respond. And the one that's going to be doing the most hitting is Jace Simerson. This young man is a physical running back. He'd rather run over you than around you, and that's one of the weapons they have. And the other one is this young man. Had a chance to interview him and talk with him this week. That's Caden Kolanowski. He does everything. When I say everything, he does everything. One thing he doesn't do is sell popcorn at halftime. He said he was willing to try, but he's been a little bit busy helping his team get here this year.
He will not leave the field, we say without exaggeration, the entire night. If a man ever needed an ice bath after a football game, it's Caden Kolanowski. On the other side for Grand Rapids South Christian, yeah, they've been here a lot before, but nearly first time in a decade that they're here, Rob. And a big reason why they're back, they've got one of the best quarterbacks in school history.
And one of the most balanced quarterbacks. A lot of quarterbacks are one-trick ponies. Maybe they're a really good passer, or maybe they're a really good runner. Jacob DeHaan, he has the ability to do both. You see him in the run game, very elusive, kind of slithery. He's got those loose type of hits. He's going to make the shake, make people miss, but he can also put his shoulders down and get the extra yard when he needs to. What he really brings to the table, besides, you look right here, the 25 to 100 yards he has this season, is the ability to throw the football, Evan. They have a plethora of receivers, and he can find them all. He's very accurate, and in the weather, even in the bad weather, he was still very productive. So this is a quarterback that has everything you're looking for in a quarterback at any level, let alone the high school football level.
Now, what would the west side of Michigan know about bad weather? You know,
I think a little bit of lake effect, not quite the UP, but they got a group of receivers that can really get it done. This man right here, Ritzema, the senior wide receiver, really nice player, good hands, good route runner, and that's what we noticed in the pregame, having a chance to watch these guys. They do a nice job in their route running, but also locating and grabbing the football. Carden Viss, I always tell young kids, Evan, don't catch the football, grab the football with your hands. And they do a wonderful job. These three young men really can go out and get it. And the last one you look at here is Nitz, number 18. He's the third one of these weapons, 6'4", 190 pounds. They got size, they have skill. They really are the total package.
This really is an outstanding South Christian team. But the team on the other side, Goodrich, is in the midst of a Cinderella dream season at 12-1. South Christian's 13-0. Something's got to give tonight from Ford Field. We're all up from the turkey coma. Let's have some fun. Grand Rapids South Christian going for another state championship. Goodrich hopes they don't wake up from the dream tonight. It's Martians against Sailors from Ford Field. Next. Tom Allward has been waiting for this night for over 3 decades. In the midst of year number 31 as the head coach at Goodrich High, a man who played collegiately for Tom Osborne. So he knows something, Rob, about playing for good coaches, and you could just sense early this week how much this game and this moment means to him.
The real interesting thing about Coach Allward is he actually played for Bob Devaney, who was also a Hall of Fame coach for a couple years before Tom Osborne took over. He was the first person signed by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He was drafted in '75, got cut by the Jets, a 6th-round pick. Tampa signs him, plays the whole year, 14 games, starts 9 games, and I couldn't find any more stats. I said, how come you didn't play anymore? Do you have a career-ending injury? He said, oh, no, I got cut. Very plainly, he goes, I guess you get cut from Tampa. It was an expansion team. People aren't lining up to sign you back then. But what a wonderful man. Great chance to visit with him and see their school, Evan. It was a really neat day.
And his counterpart on the other side, Danny Brown. He's not an old man, but he's an old pro at this. He played in the state championship, caught a touchdown pass in the winning title game for South Christian back in the early 2000s. And now he's trying to get his alma mater and program back to the promised land tonight.
If anyone can do it, he can. Really, really one of the fine young coaches in the passing game. And he is the guy to work with here. When you look at Jacob DeHaan, has all the weapons and the receivers outside. So get ready, hang on. I think we're going to have a dandy here.
Nate Brinks, the starting running back for South Christian, are going to kick it deep. Macklem and Kolanowski, the 2 men to return for Goodrich. Off we go from Ford Field. And this will be a touchback into the end zone. Starting quarterback for Goodrich, a senior, number 3 in white and blue with that Martian head on the side of his helmet. It's Gavin Hart, throwing for just over 50% on the completion percentage this year. 20 touchdowns, and a guy who can run it as well. Rob, you were just talking in the open about Simerson and Kolanowski and Macklem on the outside as well. What's Gavin Hart's game plan and attack plan tonight from the QB spot, you think?
Well, it's going to be hand it off, hand it off, hand it off. Every now and then, pull it, run a boot, try to catch him by surprise.
They start with a bunch of backs behind him. And on the first play of the game, Hart's got to keep it, and he barely got back to the line of scrimmage. The 3-year starter on the D-line, Cam Post, making the tackle for South Christian. Goodrich's starting offense, a lot of experienced faces. On the offensive line, though, keep an eye on Sukup at left guard. He's a sophomore. Look at the left tackle, a senior, who they love. And already talking about Simerson at the running back spot. Chase Burnett will do a nice job at 25, number 25, cycle it in throughout the night as well. Here's the first run of the game for Simerson. A little room on the right side, and then he got wrapped up in the backfield, defensive backfield, by Seth Ritzema. So this sets up a more manageable, Rob, 3rd down coming up for South Christian. As for their defense, they're awesome. You see the 11 on your screen right now. 8 of the 11 are senior starters. The other 3 are juniors, and they're giving up 2 touchdowns per game this year. They are having one heck of a campaign. Sailor's got to stand tall one more time here. Danny Brown needs a stop. 3rd down 4. Simerson left side, not going to get there. Great pursuit defense from Cashin on the backside. And a stop for South Christian on drive number 1 of the ball game for Goodrich.
Well, Cashin does a nice job along Cam Post. They run this down from behind a little bit. As you can see, Jacob Cashin coming through on a run blitz from his linebacker position. And that was close to being a big play. Goodrich was just about a foot off. If Cashin doesn't get that, there's a lot of room on the edge. So look for Goodrich to try to shore up that inside blocking scheme to allow the big play to occur.
Kolanowski's punt, a high hanger. Vermont's back deep for South Christian. Makes the fair catch on the run with a late hit.
And that's one of those situations where the cover guy, he gets caught trying to beat the block, does not locate the return man to see that the fair catch signal has been made. He gets a late hit. It was not a cheap shot. It was just, sometimes that happens.
It's a 29-yard punt, and they're going to add yardage here as Macklem with the late hit. We'll get the call here from Michael Brown in a second.
personal foul, and that's what roughness on the kicking team. 15 yards from the end of the kick. First down.
You can see right, that's a great look as Macklem is looking up at the ball coming down, and he does not see the signal for the fair catch. And that's a tough break. Jake Vermaas makes it and does not see it, and he knows that's on him, but he tried to atone for it.
So DeHaan alone in the gun, starting in excellent field position. They swing it out with a little bit of room. Lost the football late in the play. Goodrich trying to bounce back. Did they fall on that ball? Yes, they did. Number 10, Owen DeSici, in the final high school football game we'll ever play, falls on it.
Well, this is a good job coming from the edge, getting the elbow almost on the ball, popping it free, and it looked like South Christian opportunity, but DeSici does a nice job of reaching out, seeing the ball, taking full advantage of his opportunity. So the first drive that started off with the Goodrich Martians kind of petered out with a good play by Cash, and now they get the ball pretty much right back where they started before to see what they learned on their first time with the ball.
Andrew Hamilton, the guy who stripped it. DeSici on the ball. Take two for the Martians. And the pass incomplete, hoping for Kolanowski.
Well, that's a play call where you're trying to catch the defense being overly aggressive. They're juiced up. It's early in the game. They know you're a power I team. You're going to pound. You're going to pound. You're going to pound. And they try to do a little play action and get Kolanowski leaking down the middle of the field. To South Christian's credit, they were more than ready for it.
You knew Goodrich was going to be juiced up. This is the biggest game in the history of their school. Gotta wonder how long it'll take for them to settle in, and you just don't want to make too many mistakes while you wait for that to happen.
Yeah, and I think South Christian's feeling just as excited to be here. These kids weren't here 10 years ago either, so it's a new experience for everyone.
Simerson in a little room, dragging tacklers up near the 40. Post got him again, but here we go, Rob. Take two again. Third down manageable for Goodrich coming up here.
Yeah, much more manageable this time at a 3rd down and 3. That brings the run game back into play. It doesn't make you one-handed in the pass game. Let's see. This is a whole philosophy. When you look at this game, how Danny Brown defensively is going to employ, how much he's going to allocate it defensively to stop the run game, to stop that ISO. Right now, early on, he's still pretty spread out. Let's see if they continue to spread out or they start getting more in the box.
Simerson up the middle. Jay Simerson first down. Tumbling his way across the 45. Post just made his 3rd tackle of the night.
It's funny, talking to Coach Allward, he's used a Mike Tyson quote. He said, everyone's tough until they get punched in the mouth. And right now, Goodrich is trying to punch this South Christian defense in the mouth a little bit with that ISO power. And let's see how South Christian, here's a look at Coach Allward, 70 years old. 30 years at Goodrich, and he finally gets to the summit.
That is the youngest looking 70-year-old.
He is. I tell you what, talking to him, I shook his hand. I asked if I could have my hand back, and he was done with it.
Pitch left, Simerson. Waiting for the blocking on the outside. This turns into a good gain on just an outstanding pulling block here, Rob. Wow.
Yeah, Brady Benson does a nice job of getting out in space. Oh, this is a G sweep. Let's go to watch right here. Let's watch him. He's going to get out into space. He's going to lead this around the edge. Let it go. And you got to be an athlete. You look at Benson, you got to be able to run. And we know he can talk because we got some video you can see sometime here in the next few hours of him leading the assembly, number 54, Brady Benson. Nice job.
Simpson again. And this time, not much room to operate. Teasma makes the tackle. 3rd down again.
Even though you're playing a power team, it's like when you play against an option team, you can't really simulate it in practice because they're not going to come with that type of aggressive. Your kids on your backup team aren't going to be able to be as aggressive blocking those 2 lead backs, that ISO. So when you get in the game, it takes a while to get adjusted to the tempo, to the physicality. And we talked about Goodrich settling in. Now we see South Christian settling in as well.
Already converted on 3rd down on this drive. Got to do it again to keep it going. Howard kid. First time that Chase Burnett has touched the football. He is short, but I wonder, Rob, if that play was to try to set up fourth down more manageable.
Well, they got 2. There's still about 3. You know, Coach Howard, he said he's going to pull out all the stops. I would punt it here. I would play field position. Maybe you go in regular set. Maybe you go in shotgun like you're in the spread and do a pooch. But he has confidence in this power offense.
Hey, you've never been here before. See if they push their chips to the table. You bet they are. Hart rolling right. Now he's got to roll left. Got a block. Gavin Hart still looking downfield. And it's caught. Easton Phipps. First down, Goodrich.
You want a quarterback to be able to make plays when plays aren't there. And this is a great example. Hart gets pushed to his right. Nothing there. He's going to pick up a nice block coming back. That time, that was Chance Carlson. It buys him enough time, and he's able to find the receiver working down the field, Easton Phipps. What a great job extending the play on a 4th down and 3.
While we were talking top of the show, what does Gavin Hart need to do tonight? Probably something like that. Here's another give for Simerson. And he cut back right into a waiting middle linebacker, Jacob DeHaan. 51 tackles on the season coming into tonight. Already a handful in the first quarter. DeHaan, a senior, one of those 8 senior starters on the defense for South Christian. Goodrich has never been here. Grand Rapids South Christian has 3 state titles all time, but they haven't been in this ball game since 2014, Rob. To your earlier point, this is a new experience for everyone on that field. Got to get acclimated to the settings tonight. Here's Phipps. Slip 1 tackle. And man, he couldn't slip the second. Ritzema on the first hit. DeHaan on the second hit. 3rd down again.
And you're kind of probing. Offensively, you're probing a little bit. You're trying it right. You're trying it left. You tried it middle. They've done some kind of, looks like kind of pin and pull. They pull a guard to try to wheel the defensive end and get outside. So you're trying all areas right now as an offensive coordinator, and you're trying to find out where your best opportunity. Now, at a 3rd down in this part of the field, this is definitely 4-down territory. So you have 2 plays to pick up 6 yards.
10th play of the drive for Goodrich. Their second of the night. Hard rolling. And throwing. And it caught on a slide. That's a first down for Goodrich. Kolanowski went down to get it.
Well, this is going to be a little ball faking here. Roll outside, and the receiver let it go, who's going to be down and right, and that's Kolanowski. He gets a little bit of help sealing. He's just going to run a comeback that we used to call. He's going to drive to about 15 yards and then snap it and work his way back to the sidelines. You're going to see them run that off a naked boot as well. Now, that time it was almost like I don't know what you call it, like a 2-student body right. He had 2 backs in front of him helping seal the edge, allowing that route to develop.
Simerson. That got busted right from the get-go. Caden Dykema. You don't get many 6'5" linebackers, but he's their leading tackler on the year, and he's all over that field.
What's so impressive about this is there's going to be penetration right in here. Let it go. There's going to be penetration. You look at, misses him. He's able to gather and come back. And Dykema, that's hard to do. When you miss a guy, he goes underneath you. He's able to have the wherewithal to turn and jump and pull him down. There's a good look at Dykema. What a nice play. Now it gets Goodrich, who likes to, obviously most teams stay ahead of the chains when you got a power run game. Now they're behind it at a 2nd and 10.
Rolling left this time and floated to the end zone. No. Kolanowski couldn't get it that time.
That's a tough one now. When you're a team like Goodrich, you're not going to get a lot of opportunities in the passing game. They don't throw the ball a lot. And this time Hart has an opportunity. Kolanowski's getting behind. Caden is there for the ball. He's looking in white there, number 15. Just can't quite get to it. That's the Swiss utility knife, Army knife we call him, because he's the one that we highlight in the open that does everything. Starts two ways, kicks, punts, kick return, punt return. Now, 3rd and 10. This is an uncomfortable situation for Goodrich. They are not a drop back passing team, and I got to believe the Sailors of South Christian in blue know this.
3rd down throw, incomplete. Trying to hit another comeback route to Macklem. It's 4th down. The kicker, Kolanowski, the longest he's made all year is 26. This would be his longest one of the year if he tries it.
Well, the beautiful thing about having Caden Kolanowski as your kicker, he's also your punter. So let's say you want to do a direct snap here, because this is line up, looks like about a 41-yarder. He has a big leg. Coach Allward said they think he's good from 45 and in for as far as his leg strength. Now, accuracy, that's a different story.
To give Goodrich the lead. Good snap, good hold, the kick's blocked. DeHaan will pick it up. Goodrich will swarm around him and tackle him inside the 5. But the South Christian defense bends, does not break. Cam Post got his hand to it, blocked the kick, and we stay scoreless.
Well, as you said, Cam Post, number 55 in blue on this replay. We'll get a look. He's able to split the block, get inside, get his hand. Once again, we talk about players adapting and ad-libbing. He was kind of cut. He's able to recover, get his arm, and that ball was coming out low. And when you have a long kick, especially at the high school level, the kickers, they hit it flatter because they got to get a little more oomph in it. And that time, Cam Post stopped it. But you know what? You couldn't pooch punt the ball that well as Goodrich just did there.
Running with Brinks, not very much at all. Zachary Legap into the backfield with the tackle. Jacob DeHaan. Remember, John Wassing, once upon a time, was the quarterback for Grand Rapids South Christian. He played at Western Michigan.
Pretty good player.
Yeah, and this guy's pretty darn good too. He's accounted for 50 touchdowns this year. Also plays hoops, holds a 3.8 GPA. And his final game as a South Christian Sailor, he's trying to go out a state champ. Jacob's got a throw from his end zone. On 2nd down and long, he floats the ball down the sidelines.
You got to be kidding me.
Oh my goodness, Jake Vermas. Put that on the highlight reel.
Oh, Goodrich right now would say, no mas, no mas. Come on, Jake Vermas, this is sick. Beautiful throw, competitive the entire way down. You can see the coverage. But that's just phenomenal. And that's a catch, people. So there's no challenging this. You don't see catches much better than the other team plays here on Sunday afternoon than that one.
DeHaan on the keeper, hit the circle button to keep the run moving. Jacob DeHaan, after that 36-yard completion with a good gainer. Kolanowski got him in the defensive backfield, but not before a big gainer. The offense for South Christian, much like the defense, very experienced. 3 senior starters, 2 junior starters on the offensive line, and they cycle through, as Rob already mentioned, a bunch of wide receivers. Viss, Nitz, Ritzema, they'll all touch it. 1st down throw. Ooh, my goodness. That is an incomplete pass on a monster hit from Gavin Valley. Ritzema got popped.
So you want to play football? You better be ready to play football when you take it on this Goodrich team. They are physical. And there's a look right there, number 32, Gavin Valley, the 6'1", 165-pounder, and he is waiting, and I love it. Slides ahead, uses his shoulder. No risk of injury in this situation. This is a form tackle, and both people are able to get up, get the wind knocked out of you a little bit. You can see Ritzema saying, yeah, just let me catch my wind.
Gavin Valley entered tonight with 34 tackles on the year. That is the hardest hit I've ever seen from a 165-pound human being. Timeout on the field in an action-packed, hard-hitting first quarter. You know, Goodrich has never made the state championship game. You knew they'd be fired up, and Gavin Valley just wanted to say hello. That's a crunch coming right in your living room. Back to Ford Field right after this. Coming down the wire in the first quarter, South Christian and Goodrich still scoreless in the Division IV championship. Rob, let's get to everybody's favorite segment, the Rubik's Cube. What are the keys tonight for a Sailor State championship?
I think offensively, it's going to be balancing that the run game in the pass game. Getting Goodrich kind of off key a little bit, make them think you can run it, and then you throw it, and vice versa. And defensively, you better put on that helmet because it's going to be physical. You're going to see that power game coming at you. You have to start filling that, tanking on. It could be a long night and a lot of headaches, but if you're going to win, you got to get it done.
We have seen some hard hitting from the Goodrich defense already on this drive. It's number 2 of the night for Grand Rapids South Christian. Running left with DeHaan, and there is little to no room. The initial pressure from Carlson kind of busted the play from the get-go, and then the rest of the D-line, led by Hamilton, came to get him. 3rd down and long.
People say, what is that? You just snap to the quarterback and he just runs it, but that's just an inside zone player, maybe outside. It's hard for me to tell at times. I'm getting old, but everyone's going to block and step to the left, and it's up to the quarterback to go that way and find a crease. Goodrich allowed no creases, and that's why they're in the 3rd and 8 now, South Christian.
Senior DeHaan checking into a new play at the line. Play action on 3rd down. Across the middle, caught. This is Brinks. 1st down, South Christian. Macklin made the tackle, but not before gain of 11. And the drive continues.
Now this is the Brinks job right here. This is a nice job, a nice play design. You're going to spread a team out. We're going to pause it right here. You're going to run people off here, and you're going to take Brinks. You're going to leak him right out into the flat. Let it go, and you clear the zone a little bit with everyone else. He leaks through, just runs a little out route. Well executed, nice design.
South Christian doesn't have to snap it again in the quarter if they don't want to. They will run one final play. And DeHaan wiggles his way up near the 35-yard line. Down right there. Gain of 3 on 1st down, and it sends us to the 2nd quarter. South Christian trying to add another state championship trophy to the mantle. Goodrich here for the first time ever, and I think the whole town's here. Some good defense and some good plays on both sides. What a way to wrap up day 1 of the MHSAA football finals. Come on back for the 2nd, why don't you? Tonight is really the beauty of the MHSAA football finals. You get 2 schools coming from different parts of the state of Michigan and meeting at Ford Field for a chance for glory. Goodrich outside Flint, Grand Rapids South Christian, of course, coming from the west side of the state. You know, the west side of the state has already had an outstanding night. Congratulations to Grand Rapids West Catholic, who just won the Division VI championship. A lot of representation on the west side of the mitten this weekend. Drive continuing here for the Sailors. They got the ball at the 35. 2nd down, 7 coming up. Jacob DeHaan, the quarterback, has Brinks on his left. DeHaan keeps. Got a block. Running left. 1st down and more. Kolanowski finally got him, but not before Jacob got to the 20. Gain of 15.
Well, this is a little power read they're going to run this time. Actually, just a zone read inside, and I'm going to show you what's going to happen. You're going to watch DeHaan. He's going to read this right here. If it comes down, the defensive man comes down in the back, he's going to pull it and run. Let it go. He's going to put it in the belly of the back. Pause it. Look at that. See the get taken. Legat comes down, and that's a great job by the quarterback pulling it and getting outside. Here's another look. Read it, pull it, go. And then it's just, I'm a pretty good athlete in space. And picks up some extra yards, but a nice job. And that's just a zone read play. You always hear it. We're going to talk tonight, Evan, about some zone read. We're going to show you some power read. Different parts of this gap scheme that people like to run nowadays is pretty popular. And South Christian, obviously by the numbers that their quarterback has put up, he is pretty efficient in reading it and running it properly.
This is not good news for South Christian. Their senior starting center, Alexander Mealenberg, slowly to his feet. Alexander is an outstanding young man. He's got a 4.1 GPA, top 20 in the school. Wants to be an accountant someday. But Rob, if you get an injury on the offensive line, none of it's good. Losing the center,
that's the
not
worst.
ideal.
Yeah, that's a guy that starts every play. And we're talking a little bit about strategy here now. Tom Allward, the head coach of Goodrich, has got to be pleased how this game's going. It's going fast. And now what you want, when you feel you maybe a little bit outmanned at some of the skill positions, you want to possess the ball, you want that clock to keep going, and you want to keep the other offense on the field. Now, this drive, somebody's got to come up and make a play for the Martians.
Van Solkema moves from right guard to center. He snaps it back. DeHaan throws. End zone, no. What excellent defense. Andrew Hamilton. Go up and get it.
Wow, Andrew Hamilton, be a player, 6'1", 165, going against the tall receiver in Viss at 6'3". Locate the ball, be a player. This is what he does. Reads the receiver. That's hard to coach now. He reads the receivers. When Viss puts his hands up, he goes with them. He rips and strips. Outstanding play by Alexander Hamilton. Or Andrew, rather. Not the president. Wrong one.
Where's Lin-Manuel Miranda when you need him? All right, DeHaan got away from the pressure, and he throws it away.
Oh, I struggle with this one now.
That's Jace Williams with a flag, Rob.
Quarterback's trying to make a play all the way across the field. He still has the ball. When do you pull up if you're the defender? We're going to look at it, and we'll see here.
After the play, personal foul and late hit on the defense. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Now let me see the replay before I make too harsh of a judgment. He still has the ball. I don't know. I mean, he wraps him in bounds. He just kind of stays with him. And it's one of those ones that just goes so far out of bounds, but he's already wrapped and his momentum's taken him. But like I say, officials, they don't make every call correct, in my opinion, but they're trying to. And that's all you can ask as a coach. The official saw that as a late hit. He rolled him too long. He threw the flag. Whether or not we think it's correct or not really doesn't matter, because it's a penalty because it was called on the field.
Yeah, and what matters now is South Christian has first down goal. Right at the 10. Well, shift Brinks to the right side of the gun. DeHaan running right. Cuts it inside. A bunch of Martians wrap him up near the 5. First man to him, Kolanowski.
And I got to go back a couple plays because I said, well, President Alexander Hamilton and my friend and spotter Kevin Wenzel's with me, and he pointed out he was not a president. He got shot by Aaron Burr, but he was not a president. So I was health and phys ed. Kevin was a social studies, so he corrected me.
Do you know what play is playing just down the road right now?
My wife went to it, Hamilton. She liked it. Not my cup of tea, so it was a ladies' night out. All right, let's go right here. 2nd and 7. They've been running it here. I'm looking for a pass play, a little ball fake, get the quarterback outside the pocket.
Pitch play up the middle. South Christian stretching toward that goal line. The ball may be out. Ritzema on the little shovel inside. South Christian did fall on the ball. Legat was the one who stripped it.
And this is the wing counter. It's kind of a complimentary play. You've seen them pull the ball, and we're going to see Goodrich pulling the ball out at the end. Hey, ooh, that'd have been close, but the thing is South Christian recovers it, so it's a moot point. But that was close to being a fumble. The wing counter is a good offset because they've been running quarterback zone to the right. He takes off that way, hands to the wing coming underneath.
DeHaan fields the snap, throws to the end zone. It's Nate Briggs. He didn't blow his shot on that play. Touchdown number 13 of the year. Sailors strike first.
Well, some plays are made by great plays, some are by design, and this is the design. You're going to see the little bit of a reverse pivot out, and Briggs just releases out of the backfield. And let's watch the conversion here, and we'll get a chance to draw it up a little bit more, but pretty simple design. Just a breakdown defensively by the linebacker of Goodrich, who's got to be responsible for that man leaking out in the backfield.
Brinks, the guy who just caught the touchdown, adds the extra point. 7-0 South Christian. Jacob DeHaan just threw for his 34th touchdown of the year and accounted for touchdown number 51 in his final ever high school game. He gets Grand Rapids South Christian off to the good start. Earlier on today, Grand Rapids South Christian getting the hero send-off from the west side of the mitten, trying to bring back another state championship. They've won 3 in their school's history, but it's been a while since they've brought one home. Came here to Ford Field tonight, taking on an eager Goodrich Martians club here for the first time ever. These two sides have been going back and forth so far in this ball game, but what a drive for South Christian just a few moments ago. 11 plays, 95 yards in about 5 minutes, and here's your touchdown.
All right, so you're going to see they're going to clear through here, and they're going to take Brinks out of here. So I got to believe that this linebacker is going to be responsible. And let's take a look, see if he doesn't pull the trigger. Let it go, and he gets caught stopping. I think you're back here. You saw the linebacker kind of come in. He starts to fill on run, and it's one of those plays you go, okay, I'm coming. Oh, shoot. And you look, and your guy's out there wide open, and Brinks says, that's about as easy as we've done all year there. It's all about assignment, and especially when you get in that red zone. You can ill afford to break an assignment because if you do it in the middle of the field, there's a chance someone makes a tackle. It's not a touchdown. In the red zone, it's costly.
Goodrich about to get that football back. Student section's got the lighters up on their phone. Nate Brinks, a busy man, caught the touchdown, added the extra point, and now he's about to kick it away. Olenowski and Macklin, your 2 back deep. You know, that looks like a kick in the NFL.
Yeah.
It's pretty darn good.
And some oop behind it.
So, Rob, we got to the Rubik's Cube earlier for South Christian. As Goodrich goes back to offense here, what are some of their keys here?
Well, to go along with the hard helmet defensively for South Christian, and the other end, you got to bring it. Offensively, you got to pound that ISO. You got to make them get tired of hitting you and taking on those 2 fullbacks coming through. So that's what you offensively. Defensively, you got to slow down this offense. You got to try to get them so they can't hurt you in the passing game. Make them maybe one-dimensional. Make them try to run it. Right now, that last drive, they showed their versatility, them being the South Christian Sailors in blue.
Hard under center. Simerson right. And way right. Trying to get what he can, not much. Austin Teasma on the tackle after a gain of 1 or 2.
Well, South Christian's doing a good job at the point of attack on that power play of kind of spilling it. Not allowing anything at the point of attack, making everything, pushing it to the side. And the linebackers right there, and there's a good look at the one, Caden Dykema, who's really been all over. They do a good job of flowing and pushing it to the sidelines. There's a good look at Danny Brown. I feel bad. I was in the tunnel. I saw Coach Brown. He's, hey, can I help you? I said, yeah, I'm looking for Tom Allward. I was looking for the Goodrich coach, and I didn't even realize I'd done Coach Brown's game before, but I forgot he was that young. I was looking for someone older.
Hart wants to throw, and it's incomplete. Simerson had leaked out of the backfield, but that pressure from South Christian, led by Dykema, just didn't give him the necessary time to throw.
Yeah, and Hart's had a couple opportunities to make plays. We saw the one he missed, overthrowing Kolanowski in the first quarter. That time he had an opportunity to make the play on the throwback, leaking Simerson on the backside, almost like it's not a screen because you're not releasing any linemen, but just a throwback pass. We get all the flow going one way, and he missed it again. And those can come back to haunt you. And I guarantee you, talk to Coach Cutley, going into halftime or coming back and say, yeah, we had some opportunities that we let slip by.
Another 3rd down for Goodrich. They're 2 of 5 tonight. Deep shot, Hart. Down the sidelines, incomplete. Kolanowski, the intended target. Vermoss had the coverage.
Yeah, and Kolanowski, and Hart's telling him, hey, I didn't think you're going to go inside more. And Kolanowski saying, I thought you were going to throw the ball where I could catch it more. And it's just 3 times, 3 plays. The passing game just isn't clicking. Hart's a little bit frustrated with his receivers, and This is where you got to set, as a coach, you take them to the sideline, calm them down, and say, listen, stuff is there. We're going to get it. Just calm down. A lot of pressure here in a game like this. Settle in. We'll be fine.
It's the second time tonight Goodrich has gone 3 and out. Kolanowski to punt it. Ross back deep. This kick will take an outstanding roll. And it will not die until it reaches the 23-yard line. Kolanowski's longest punt of the year was 50 yards. That one was 56 at a new long punt.
What a time to have it.
Goodrich and South Christian competing for a state championship in Division 4 tonight. Leading the ball for South Christian, and you come on back. So awesome to see the community support here for the Division 4 state championship tonight.
Is that Evan Stockton?
No, I don't have
Seriously,
blonde hair.
they bring your picture here. You are a big deal everywhere, Evan. I just love traveling with you because when we travel and people come up to me and say, hey, Rob, is that Evan Stockton? I'm like, I'm blessed. And what I'm going to say, this guy is the hardest working man in radio and television right now. You do with the AAA, right?
Down, I do. Syracuse, New York.
Syracuse,
Syracuse Mets. Yeah.
Right where you went to college.
That's where I went to college, yes.
And that's got to be hard. I always wanted to ask you because you have to do play-by-play and you have to do color, right?
You know we're supposed to be talking about Grand Rapids South Christian now, right?
Yeah,
it's an outstanding school and community, Rob.
Yeah, it is, and you see this right here. This is a biggie. 3 state championships, so they're not new to this game. South Christian, they've been there and located in Byron Center.
Yes.
And there's so many good teams. I mean, you've seen Grand Rapids Christian come out of the Grand Rapids, South Christian, Rockford for years, and now this year, tomorrow in Division 1, we're going to get to see Caledonia, who really hasn't been back to the big dance in quite a while. There's a good look at Coach Brown. Once again, I'm going to text him after this game and apologize. I don't want to think I was big-timing him.
By the way, one of the great establishments that Sailor fans love to go to, Pete's Grill and Tavern. It's been around in Byron Center for over 70 years. What do you think? You think you're watching the ball game tonight?
I don't know, but if things work out for South Christian, I may go into Pete's and maybe you try to get a comp lunch out of him and say, hey, remember that game you guys won? That was us calling the game.
You really have figured out this broadcast.
All right, let's go right here. This is a big drive for Goodrich. You cannot allow this team to go down the field on you again because you're not built to come back from deficits. You're built to control the ball, to play from the lead. So the Martians need to step their play up here, and they do a nice job on first down, limiting to a 2-yard gain.
What do you think some of the keys are here for Goodrich to get that stop you're talking about?
Well, offensively, they're missing opportunities. Defensively, they've made some good plays. They just got to contain, and now the read game, the zone read, the power read game, the running game of South Christian has hurt them. So you have to be disciplined.
Snap to DeHaan, rolling right, evading the pressure and throwing out of bounds, incomplete. Jace Williams, who had that pivotal late hit earlier, really nice rush here for the senior.
Yeah, number 11, Jace Williams, 6'4", 200-pound senior, doing a great job of flattening out. I thought DeHaan was going to be able to get away from him, but you're going to see what you want to do. You got to take a good pursuit angle. He's going to come in here. Then when I say flatten out, watch him. When he reads it's going outside, uses his hands, disengages, come flat, come flat. Great job forcing DeHaan just to dump the ball. Big 3rd and 8, Evan. You got to be careful here. There's a lot of pressure, maybe a screen or draw.
Snap to DeHaan, stepping up in a clean pocket and throwing a sidearm fastball caught. Jake Vermas is still going. He slips just shy of the 50. This is a big-time throw from a weird angle.
Well, we've seen somebody else in this building do that a lot in the past, Matty Staff, with that little baseball throw. You're going to see it here. The throw's impressive, but I'm sorry. Vermas grabbed the ball. Look at that. Look at the pause. Grabbing it in front of him. And I love that. Now, they got the sticky gloves now, but number 2, way to look it in. 2 in blue, that's a great play. And not bad by the quarterback slinging it either.
Big conversion on 3rd down long. Throw, caught. A lot of room for South Christian Vermas. Tripped up approaching the red zone. Dasici made the tackle, but that combination. DeHaan and Vermas has been clicking back-to-back plays.
Well, that's the first time we've really seen him run an RPO with the run-pass option. DeHaan's going to read the hang linebacker. He's going to put it in the belly, let it go. Let's watch right here. Stop it. Look at the linebacker comes flying up. When you see that, you pull it. Now you look to throw it behind him. Let it go. Linebacker fills. You throw it from the void. Well executed.
On consecutive plays, DeHaan and Vermas have gained 55. May as well give it back to Vermas and try to replicate it. Not going to happen that time. Good tackle by Chase Burnett, who came into the night with 94 on the year.
Sometimes you can be playing well, as we're seeing. I think Goodrich is playing pretty well. They're just getting out-executed a little bit by a very, very efficient offense, very well run. The execution level of the Sailors in blue here is just one little step higher than what the Martians are used to seeing.
South Christian trying to complete an undefeated season tonight. They're inside the red zone. A bad snap, and they're forced to fall on it. So now they move out of the red zone as Brinks just falls on it and plays safe.
You know what we call those? That play, that's a drive killer, partner. That's worse than a penalty, because you get a penalty, you get the down over, and that's just a snap that goes off Van Solkema's inner thighs. He's trying to pull it back. Now remember, he's filling in. We had the injury to Muhlenberg. Now Van Solkema is in there, and that's a drive killer because you lose the distance and the down. So now you're the third down and long. You got to keep it in front of you, Goodrich. You can't play too tight. Make him catch it, swarm to the ball.
And before the third down and long, Goodrich burns their first timeout of the first half.
Well, something was not kosher for Coach Allward defensively, and I have no problem. I do Eastern Michigan radio, and I've done it for years with Matt Shepard. Now I do it with Tom Helmer. And Eastern periodically will use their defensive timeouts instead of that saving them for the half, and I have no problem with it. Save a big play, use that timeout.
Big play coming up. Let's take a timeout ourselves. Now we got a message from our friends at the Southeast Michigan Ford Dealers. This special presentation of the MHSAA Football Finals on Bally Sports Detroit, proudly presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford Dealers. As we've been talking about all night, this is the Goodrich Martians' first ever trip to the state finals in football. And as senior captain Zachary Legatt tells us, it's just meant so much to the town and the community.
The way that everybody has rallied around us, from all the way down the elementary schools, the middle school, all the teachers, everybody's supporting us, and it means a lot. It's very motivating knowing that they're all behind us and we have this whole village on our backs, and it feels good.
Pretty cool stuff.
Rob, you were out at that community the other day, and frankly, this is why we love doing the state football finals, because communities like this and great people like this get to make memories.
Hey, look at the little people everywhere, and these are heroes. There's Rob, the athletic director of Goodrich. But yeah, they went through the schools. There's a great picture of Zach Legatt right there, number 50. And I got a really cool story. We're done doing the piece. I interviewed Coach Allward. I've talked to Zach. I talked to Caden Kolonowski. And he looks at me, he goes, "How come you get to do this?" I said, "Well, I did play in the NFL years ago. That kind of helped me get my foot in the door." He goes, "Oh."
Right now, all that's on the Martians' mind is a third down and long for South Christian. They're showing pressure. Here it comes. DeHaan's got the time. Down the middle, caught. It's a touchdown. Carson Viss, number 16 this season, a 23-yard strike.
Well, you got a sophomore right here. He's going to come down the middle, and he doesn't, the sophomore safety, or I'm not sure, linebacker, let it go, doesn't carry him. You see him eyeball him. Oh, I'm sorry, I got off by one. Inside slot. Let me take another look at that after the extra point.
Brinks is 1 for 1 on the PATs tonight. DeHaan's your holder. Brady knits the long snapper and make it 2 for 2 on the operation tonight.
Yeah, let me take another look at this. This is going to be tighter in the slot. He's going to be right here. And all he's going to do is go down here. And Valley, he's going to run with him a little bit, and then he lets him go. Run it. Go down the middle. He grabs him, kind of hooks him, doesn't carry him. And if that's like a Tampa 2, I'm not sure what it is. It looked like the safeties were split in halves. You have to carry him. That linebacker's got to carry him farther down the field. He can't release him that quick. It looked like Valley got caught a little bit flat-footed as well. And before he knew it was by him. But the big play is by the quarterback, DeHaan. He sees that. He looks down the middle for that read. He sees the flat-footedness. He just throws it over the top. And this Grand Rapids South Christian team, man, you got to be careful. You blink and they're walking into the end zone.
You know what's wild? Carson Viss wasn't going to play football this year. He's a hoops player. That's his sport. That's what he's committed his goals to. But there's a lot of hoops players on this team, including the quarterback, Jacob DeHaan. And they all said to him before the year, Carson, we're going to be really good in football, dude. With you, I think we'll win the state championship. I think he made the wise decision to play football.
Oh, he sure did. And any coach will tell you at collegiate level, if he has any hopes of playing on, they want multi-sport athletes.
Kolanowski did not make the catch, but no harm, no foul. That's a fair catch and a touchback. So Goodrich about to get the football back, but not before we get a message from Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
For over 50 years, your family has trusted Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Call Family Heating and Cooling now for all of your family's heating and cooling needs.
Visit FamilyHeating.com today.
Rob, this is a resilient Goodrich bunch. Best season in school history, but this is a different type of challenge in Grand Rapids South Christian tonight. A lot of ball game to go. Feels like a pretty big drive.
Well, it is, because you've been outmanned a little bit with your defense against South Christian, but your offense has shown signs that there's things out there they can get done. But you got to create that physicality. You got to come out and run the football. We're seeing a straight eye, not the power eye anymore.
First time they've been in it tonight. Got it to the up man Burnett, who slipped in the hole and gained a yard. Chase, you'd anticipate, number 25 in white for Goodrich, is going to be the new bell cow next season. He's the sophomore. Simerson, 30, the senior. Jace carried it 250 times in the first 13 games this year. Chase carried it 71 times. Straight drop, Hart. Good looking throw, far side. It's caught. Hoping for a little pixie dust. Macklin can't find as much as he wanted. As guess who? Jacob DeHaan made the tackle. Still, though, Rob, that's a good gain and sets up a more manageable third down.
It gives you an opportunity now after you really got nothing on first down. You're able to pick up 6 or 7 on second and put you into a, even though the side says second, it is third down. There, they just switched it. It gives you an opportunity to maybe run the ball again. You don't have to rely on the throw. But that's South Christian defense. It looked like Macklin's going to have an opportunity, maybe make one guy miss, get up the field. But blue shirt came, blue shirt came, blue shirt came. Before you knew it, he was in the beehive. They were swarming.
Another third down for Goodrich. They're 2 of 6 tonight. Hart throws down the sideline, missing Macklin. Had a step on DeHaan.
Now, once again, Macklin had a little bit of separation. Gavin Hart, the 6'3" senior, just not having his best night. He's just missing guys. When I say missing, they don't have to be perfect, but as a receiver, you have to have a chance to get your hands on the ball. If you have to come in, if you have to slow down, if you whatever, but you can only run so fast. And if it's overthrown by 3 or 4 yards, I mean, that's what I have. I mean, you got to give me a chance, so I'd rather have you underthrow it a little bit.
Kolanowski's punt away. Last time he punted for 56 yards, and he got a great roll. Jake Vermas, he's a smart man. He learned. I'm going to make the fair catch here and not let it roll an extra 20.
Yeah, you set me up to when Goodrich had the ball saying this is a huge drive for them. It was. But this might even be bigger for the Goodrich defense right now. If you know this South Christian team to go in here and get 7 more points, and you're a power team, you're 21 points down at halftime. That is a difficult task to overcome.
Yeah, and keep in the back of your mind as well, South Christian gets the ball to start the second half. This is one of those deals for Goodrich where, you know, South Christian goes 2 for 1 in the blink of an eye, you're down by a
double
lot.
dipping. It's
Right.
like I like my ice cream cones.
You big ice cream cone guy?
Oh yeah, if I'm going bigger. I'm going home. I want at least two scoops.
Now you know what Rob and I will be doing once this game ends. Low snap. Brinks lost the ball. It's still loose, and Nate found a way to fall on it. Remember, Meelenberg, the starting center for South Christian, is hurt and out. Van Solkema, normally on the right side of the line, has moved to center, and this has been a problem.
Well, he threw a seed. The problem was the seed was about 6 inches off the ground, and a great job by Brinks pulling that in. That really could have been a disaster, bigger than it was. Now, Goodrich, you can't allow them to get behind you. You got to make them catch the ball. If they're going to throw it, catch and group up, you make the tackle. But you got them, what, second down and almost 30, 28?
Yeah, it was a loss of 18.
Yeah, second and 28.
DeHaan fields a good snap and throws. Caught over the middle. Vermas made a great catch. Luke Allward was step for step in coverage, and this is one heck of a grab.
Yeah, the head coach's grandson, who's a sophomore. Pretty good coverage, as you said, but how about the strength of Jake Vermas's hands? That's the second time we've seen him put the vice grips on a ball that wasn't perfect, where he's able to grab it and keep it and pull it in. That helps him. That takes a little bit of it off. Now it puts you in a third down and we'll call it 18, 19. So a little bit better opportunity.
DeHaan on third down long. Keeping his eyes downfield. Got a ways to go. Had to make a man miss. They did. Vermas is all over the place. That's a cool, calm, and collected conversion on third down and forever.
Yeah, and by scrambling, DeHaan puts one of the defenders of Goodrich on an island. As you're going to see, as he rolls out to his left, let it go. You see it's Bally, number 32. He has to decide to come up or drop off and try to cover the back for Moss. And that's just, once again, athletes making plays with their legs to extend plays. There's nothing harder than that secondary to cover for 5 seconds.
Gain of 30 puts him in business. DeHaan wiggled away and leaned ahead for the first down. Kolonowski finally got him down, but a gain of 11. He came out of the scrum.
Yeah, you're going to run quarterback counter. Let's pause it. We get a look at it. I'm going to show you what's going to happen. They're going to pull here. QB is going to fake it here, and he's going to keep it and come right up the field. Let it go. You're going to pull backside, read it, pull it, come up. And that's just a nice job because there was penetration, almost a play made in the backfield, but DeHaan's able to break it, get positive yardage.
Reverse, looking to throw. Fist finds DeHaan. Jacob DeHaan. Reversing field, falling inside the 20 for a first down. Carson Viss, 13's the backup quarterback. They get him involved and hit DeHaan for a gain of 12, another first.
Well, when you're in the state championship, you might as well pull out all the stops. And I'm going to date myself, but after DeHaan caught the ball, he looked like Frogger. People coming at him. We're going to see here a little reverse, a little handoff, a little pitch back. Now we're going to throw it out of the backfield. We're going to have a quarterback throw it to the starting quarterback, and whoop, whoop, whoop. He's just cutting us. The traffic comes. He's able to navigate it and pick up a nice gain.
Back into the red zone goes South Christian. DeHaan looking left. Corner of the end zone. Incomplete. They keep trying Hamilton, and he keeps saying no.
Really, two of the best plays offensively or defensively for Goodrich have been made by Andrew Hamilton, number 5. This is a well-thrown ball. I remember I talked about give your guy a chance. That's what DeHaan does. That's a chance, and Andrew Hamilton in 5 and white does a great job of getting his hand in there. That's a good look at Andrew.
Also a baseball player. He'll pitch and play shortstop this year.
Really good ball awareness for a defensive back. Good feel.
Under a minute to go. First half. Give. Not much. Brinks got swallowed up by a couple. Legat the first one to get to him. And now this is part of the deal, end of a half, Rob, where you kind of play chicken with the timeouts. Each team's got 2. Danny Brown will call one for South Christian.
Yeah, I would be shocked if you see Goodrich use them because they're not, 20 seconds. This isn't Josh Allen here on Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah.
20 seconds is not going to do Goodrich much. Anything good's going to happen. You might throw a pick or something and it can really harm you more than it's good. So right now, South Christian in control of the clock. They still have one timeout remaining. It's 3rd down and 11. Big leg kicker. We know that. We saw that already on the kickoffs. So I think you're going to try to take a shot in the end zone, though. There's no reason. You've had people running free.
Coming up at the half, we'll have a conversation with MHSAA Executive Director Mark Ewell. We'll preview the upcoming matchups tomorrow. 4 more games coming tomorrow. And Rob and I are going to break down the first half, talk about South Christian's success in this hard-hitting first half and what Goodrich maybe can do to come back in the ball game. But if they're going to come back in the ball game here, Rob, this has been a bugaboo, right? Goodrich has gotten South Christian in 3rd and long, and South Christian converted on a 3rd and 19 earlier in this drive. You got to get off the field at some point.
Yeah, I mean, you had them 2nd and 28 and 3rd and 19, and they still find a recipe for success. And most of it's due to number 5 in blue right there, and that man there, number 2 in blue, Jake Vermas, along with his running mate, Jacob DeHaan. They've done a wonderful job. When you can extend plays, and that's why mobile quarterbacks at any level, you see in the NFL now, are such a commodity because it just stresses the defensive secondary out so much. And they got them spread. You see 3 to the high side, 2 empty set, 2 to the bottom here.
Low snap, DeHaan falls on his backside.
That's interesting. Now, that might take you out of the field goal range, what you were thinking.
It's be about a 45-yarder.
But if you go for it, it's a 4th down and 18. You get another look here. Once again, a low snap. And DeHaan does a good job getting it. It doesn't split his legs like the last time. So I think at halftime up in the tunnel, we should get a camera up there and watch. I think you're going to have the big fella, Van Sulkema, doing some long snapping at halftime, getting more reps. Because you have to remember, he was playing in a game, and all of a sudden, you get moved, you got to snap. You haven't done that. I'm sure he wasn't getting all the reps during the course of the week. Van Muhlenberg was.
Yep.
So, or rather Muhlenberg. I said Van Muhlenberg. That's the here's the deal. Talking to Coach Danny Brown, I said, I speak fluid Dutch because I went to Grand Valley. I had Coach Harkema, Coach Zylstra, and I look at these names and said, are you kidding me? Is there anyone who's not a muh on the end? He said, well, we got a couple, but they don't see a lot of action. So, excuse me, and there's a lot of Vans, but Alex Muhlenberg got injured, and that's really looking to be a big storyline in this game, Evan.
All right, so here's a big play coming up for his team. Interesting coaching decision, right? Danny Brown elects to bleed the clock down, so now your thought goes to, okay, I think they're going Hail Mary, final play of the half, right?
Or he's kicking it. I mean, it's a long kick.
Longest for Brinks this year, about 39, so he does have a pretty good leg.
You're pretty much at his a little bit over his limit.
Maybe the better question is, if you're Danny Brown, remember, you get the ball to start the second half, too.
No.
What decision would you make?
I know decision I would make because I have number 2, I have number 13, I have number 6. I think one of these guys can win in the end zone in a 50-50 ball. So I'm going to take a shot and throw it in the end zone.
DeHaan's already thrown a couple touchdown passes tonight. Found Brinks out of the backfield for one and Carson Viss for
Or,
another.
as I said originally, I let you talk me out of it.
You should know by now.
I know.
Season
Why do I question myself? Why?
It's a question I can't answer for you. I'm sorry. All right, here's a 45-yarder for Brinks. This would be a new career long. Snap put down, the kick on the way, and it is no good. A little bit short. So in a first half where South Christian looked really good on offense and powerful on defense, Coach Allward's club, they're going into the locker room. They are down 14-0, and South Christian gets the ball to start the second half, but we'll take a defensive stop.
Evan, it's all about execution. The team in blue executed better than the team with the white jerseys. There's no question. They made plays. You have to make plays. Plays presented themselves for Goodrich. They were unable to make them. South Christian did make them, and that's why they have the 14-0 lead heading into the half.
This is the best season in the history of Goodrich football. They're to the state championship for the first time ever. South Christian trying to add another state championship to the mantle. Danny Brown, their head coach, won one when he was a player. Now he's trying to win one as a coach. He's standing by. Coach, appreciate a couple of minutes here. All right, we're 2 quarters in. Your team's up 14-0. What'd you think of the first half?
Yeah, I mean, we obviously were winning, so we're doing enough to win. I think we got to clean up the snap situation. Our starting center got hurt, so we got to kind of settle down there and get our back up there, just calm down and keep executing. From a defensive standpoint, we're playing awesome. Guys are getting patched to the ball. We're tackling well, so we just got to continue to do the same thing in the second half.
Hey, Coach Rob Rubick here. First, I want to apologize. I bumped into you in the tunnel. I forgot how young you were. I didn't realize that was you. I would have said hello, so I apologize. But the physicality of your defense has been a pleasant surprise to me. Have you always been this physical up front?
Yeah, we got some horses up front, so we've been good on defense, physical. It's kind of been, our MO all season. We got some good guys up front that get after the ball, and it's led to our success.
Coach, appreciate your time. Best of luck second half.
All right, thanks, guys.
Danny Brown won a state championship. He caught a touchdown pass in the state championship game once upon a time, and now he's trying to win one as the head coach. Goodrich and South Christian have filled Ford Field, and players on both sides playing their hearts out. But after 2 quarters of ball, Jacob DeHaan is slinging it. 2 more touchdowns. 14-0 Sailors at the break. It reached 50 degrees at the end of November today in Michigan. Let's take that and run to the bank. Halftime of our final game of the day here of the MHSAA football finals at Ford Field. It's shining like a diamond. Halftime here between Goodrich and Grand Rapids South Christian. Mark Ewell, the executive director of the MHSAA, is here. Evan Stockton back with you. Mark, we always appreciate a couple of minutes. All right, we're almost through day 1 here of the football finals. What do you think so far?
It's been a great day. Great game this morning to start things off. Our whole thing this fall has been normalcy. And to see the crowds in the building today and the excitement and the kids, and it really feels like COVID is finally in the rearview mirror. So great attendance day, almost 25,000 fans through the doors. One more day to go. So a great start today and looking for a strong finish tomorrow.
You say COVID is almost over. That's like Beetlejuice, the boogeyman. Don't say it 3 times or it's going to happen again. You know what I mean?
You ain't kidding. But, with winter sports around the corner, everything moves indoors, and, they're talking about flu season. And, again, we want to keep the normalcy thing going, but it's certainly there. And, we want to keep pushing forward, because I think what folks have realized the last 2.5 years is kids only get one chance at this. And we're going to continue to push and play and when it's safe. And that's what we're doing this weekend, and it feels great.
What's not normal in a good way is that participation numbers are up all over the place. Why do you think that is?
I really think it's the post-COVID bounce. A lot of kids and families during COVID, no matter what you believe, we're just careful. And it really feels like we're back to normal. Fans want to come out, kids want to get out, and a good friend of mine once said that the comeback is always better than the setback, and I think that's the perfect way to describe COVID.
Yeah, and something that is really awesome to see as well. The most thankless job in the world is being an official, but officials' numbers are all over the place up for the MHSAA. Why do you think that good news is there too?
We're slowly starting to turn the corner, and I think part of it is just awareness. Officials are human beings, and you may disagree, but be respectful. And I think we're getting our coaches to finally buy into some of that, and some of our recruiting efforts are starting to pay off as well.
And another thing about the post-COVID bounce back, which is great news, you brought the Sportsmanship Summit back this year. How important was that to bring back, and why'd you enjoy doing that again?
Really getting our kids together to talk about sportsmanship. We're training the next generation of sports parents. And when you talk about recruiting more officials and new officials, the better that they're treated by kids. And just getting back again, that it's an angry society right now. And one of the other, I think, post-COVID lessons is just common decency and respect. And I think if we do that, our whole enterprise is better for it.
Once upon a time, this man was watching his son win a state championship for DeWitt here a couple of years ago. Now he's just here as a fan and I suppose as an employee. Mark, you'll appreciate your time as always. Thank you, my friend.
Thanks, Evan.
Division 4, wrapping up our first day of the MHSAA football finals. Grand Rapids South Christian off to a heck of a start. Jacob DeHaan in the final football game he'll ever play for Grand Rapids South Christian is making throws like Matt Stafford out there. 2 touchdown lead for the Sailors, and they get the ball when we start the second half. Right after this. This special presentation of the MHSAA football finals on Bally Sports Detroit. Brought to you by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers, think Ford first. And by Legacy Football, the #1 football development program in Michigan. Also by Glassman Automotive. Got it at Glassman. The South Christian Marching Band on the field before the game, and so their head coach Danny Brown was before the game, firing up the boys as they go for another state championship.
Tonight it's going to take not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 quarters of perfect football. Every down of every play. We got to play our tail ends off, you hear me? There's only one way to play this game. Sam Barr's dad talked about it last night. There's got to be that fire inside that burns. And when they go after you, you go a little harder. That's what it's going to take tonight. Let's go out there and be perfect. Let's go.
Well, our halftime highlights are brought to you by Wallside Windows. And Rob, it wasn't a perfect 2 quarters for South Christian, but it's pretty darn good in that first half.
And what you're going to notice with these highlights, it all starts with number 5, Jacob DeHaan. We highlight him in our open. He finds Jake Vermas on one. Now this time he's going to find Biss down the middle of the field. He gets Brinks on another one. So this is the quarterback that distributes the ball. He runs the football. He is the straw that stirs the drink. And you look at the stats here, dominant performance, 200 yards. The turnovers, even though they're -1 in the turnovers, South Christian has been able to overcome that because they have executed when they've had to. Goodrich missing plays, leaving yards, leaving possible points on the field.
You know, there's a stat, Rob, that's not on the screen, but something we got to mention. Jake Vermas, number 2, who, remember, he came into the night with 28 catches on the year, about 400 yards. That's pretty good. You ready for his first half numbers? 6 catches, 132 yards, and a touchdown.
Time to retire. Not going to get much better than that.
Quit while you're ahead, I suppose. Second half coming up. Division 4 championship on the line. South Christian and Goodrich. Come on back to Sportsfield. So as we start the second half in just a second, South Christian has the lead and they're about to get the football, but there is a wrinkle here. Mealenberg, Alexander Mealenberg, number 60, the center, the starting senior, was injured in the first half. And as that half went along, they tried to move 77, Cam Van Solkema, to that spot, and he struggled. So you just saw number 59, Garrett Veltman, the junior, move to that spot. Now here's what's interesting, Rob. Earlier in the week, South Christian said that Veltman was the backup center, but they didn't move him to that spot in the first half. They actually put 68, Joshua Harkema, another senior, on the right side of the line. Tried Van Solkema, it didn't work. That's what Danny Brown told us at halftime. Hey, I got to figure out the snapping problem, and apparently they have gone to the guy who was listed as the backup.
Yeah, and it's one of those things you're trying to work out at halftime, but it's one of those big things. I mean, this isn't just a little tweak you're trying to do. You're trying to find a center who can get the ball back to the quarterback so you can run your offense. And the negative plays they had in the first half were all in the exchange in the shotgun game. Now they're able to overcome them, especially one drive we talked about. They were 2nd and 28, 3rd and 18, 19, and they've still got a first down. But you can't live like that. You need some consistency at that center position, and they're going to find out Veltman will give them that.
Well, we heard from Danny Brown before the game. What was the man's message at halftime? Let's find out together.
I was 24 minutes away from hoisting a trophy. Okay? You got to dig deep. Don't be satisfied with what we did in the first half. It's not enough. Okay? They didn't get this far if they don't have some resiliency. Okay? They ain't laying down. There's no way. We got to up our game. We got to play crisper. We got to play better. We talked about it before the game. Perfect football. We haven't shown it yet. Can we do it for 2 quarters? That's what we got to do. 2 quarters of perfect football. Let's go get it, boys. Let's go.
That's easy, huh? 2 quarters of perfect football. I don't think anyone in the history of football has ever played 2 perfect quarters, but that's what Danny Brown's asking for. And I think if he can get even close to that, he could come away as a state champion.
You know, when Danny Brown got hired 4 years ago to coach at his alma mater, he said this is the best job in the world. It'll be an even better job if you win a state title.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like what we do up here. I mean, I would rather do this. There's a lot less accountability than there is when you're a coach or a player. No one remembers what I say from one week to the other, except that Alexander Hamilton was our 25th president. I never said it. I know he wasn't.
That is a lot of Alex Hamilton references.
Yeah, I know. Well, Andrew Hamilton's been probably the best player for the Martians here tonight, so it's kind of sticking in my mind. And now it's up to this Martian defense, get a special teams play and try to get a stop and get that offense cranked up.
Kolanowski kicks it away. This is a returnable ball for South Christian. Charlie Skur will not get to the 20. I'll give it to him. Landon Williams on the tackle on special teams. So here you go, Rob. The South Christian coaching staff is asking for a perfect half of football to clinch their first ever state championship. What do you think is the best attack plan and game plan to win?
Get the ball to your quarterback first on the shotgun snap. That's first and foremost. And you said we're making some adjustments at half, but they can just keep doing what they're doing. Their power game, their read game has been very good. DeHaan's been able to stretch plays, extend them with his legs, and make some really good throws. They're grabbing the ball. So I just think a lot more of the same if you're South Christian.
This will be the first snap of the night for Beltman, number 59. It's a solid one. Play action for DeHaan. Over the middle. Vermont's lost the ball. This is Goodrich football. Easton Phipps fell on the ball. Vermont's had it enough. DeSici stripped it out. There's your big play for Goodrich right out of the chute.
Well, we talked about Vermont, the great strength he has in his hands. And that time he's going to grab it coming across. He takes 2 or 3 steps. And a nice job of coming up and stripping the ball. Number 10 for Goodrich, Owen DeSici, knocks it out, and teammates Johnny on the spot to pick it up. Easton Phipps more than ready, number 2 in white there. And now a short field for Goodrich's offense. You need to take advantage. You left opportunities missed in the first half. You have to finish this now.
Back to the familiar 3-back formation. Simerson right. Jay Simerson still going. First down, Jay Simerson. That's his best run of the night.
And they got back to ISO out of the power eye. Look, this is their bread and butter play. Talking to Tom Allward, head coach, he said, we're going to hit you in the face. And when I talk about ISO, you're going to see this, but you're going to bring 2 backs. You're going to lead through it. Let it go. You're just going to get at the point of attack, get numbers. Boom, and a little pin and pull almost that time by number 2. Easton Phipps kind of seals the end in and allows Simerson to get to the edge. So a nice opening play after the turnover. Confidence builder for this Goodrich offense.
Gain of 12 for Jason, first down. Right back to Simerson. Spinning ahead up near the 25. They'll mark him down at the 26. 9 Heiss on the tackle. There's one of those Dutch last names you were talking about, Rob. 9 Heiss.
Yeah. And I'm thinking right now, if I'm Tom Allward, you're thinking strategy, okay, it's 2nd and 8. We're going to have 4 downs. Do we possibly do some play action here? We've had a couple successful runs. A lot going on in that man's mind. But you can think of everything you want as a coach. Anyone's ever coached will tell you, you have the greatest plays in the world on a Sunday night on your chalkboard, but if they can't execute it, they're no good.
Hard rolling left. Pressure coming. Down he goes. Sawyer Tenhoff, just his 2nd sack of the season.
Now that was a perfect Tenhoff that time. Sawyer does a great job of getting up the field, using that length to get a hold of the jersey. He's going to come right here. He's going to work up the field. He keeps contained, and then he keeps working vertically. Good job. Look at him fight through outside, takes on another one, splits the defenders, and uses those long arms on that frame of his. 6'6", 225 pounds. That, gentlemen, that is in everyone's box for a college athlete right there. 6'6", 225. I think I was about a rookie in the NFL before I got to 225.
3rd down, Hart was down.
Well, you talk about a drive just self-destructing. Now you're looking at, now you're punting. You got to punt the ball.
Tenhoff's sack was a loss of 14, and it looked like Hart may have tripped over something here.
Yes, you see that. That's one of the offensive linemen pulling out. That's the center, Matthew Wendt, 5'11", 240-pound junior stepping on his quarterback. And you don't blame him. That's one you can't be blaming the offensive lineman. It's a lot more difficult being in a three-point stance, trying to get up, pull, move, than it is for a quarterback getting out from under center.
Kolanowski to punt it away again. Angling this one near the sidelines, and it will fly out of bounds around the 20. So Goodrich, after the fumble on South Christian's first offensive play of the third quarter, the drive self-destructs and their defense back on the field. You know, no matter what happens tonight, this is an outstanding night for the community of Goodrich. Here at the state championships for the first time ever, Tom Allward could not say enough nice things about his community and his school when he spoke to us earlier this week. He said, I am so proud to be their coach. Frankly, I feel like I have to pay back all that they are giving me every single time I take that field. He's given back a lot to the community this year. And we were talking about Pete's Grill and Tavern earlier for Grand Rapids South Christian. Feels like the whole town of Goodrich is here tonight, but I wonder if there's a few watching at Cranberry's Cafe. Patty Plant opened it up in 1994, and she says the only reason that they're still in business is because of all those fine folks in Goodrich.
It's a village. Yeah, you say it takes a village to raise children, and sometimes it takes a village to get a team to get to Ford Field. Goodrich has really done that this year. Great support. What a nice community getting out there this week and getting to work, interview a couple of fellas and talk to Coach Allward. It really kind of throws you back at when you realize how neat this is for not just these players that get here, but for the whole town gets behind it.
Every year when we do the football and basketball finals, yes, the wins and the losses in the moment feel huge. But the fact of the matter is, for all these players on the field, 10, 15, 30 years from now, they'll forget the final score. They'll remember playing on a Friday night at Ford Field for a state championship. DeHaan, still your quarterback. He's running left and finding a little room. And then he met Easton Phipps, who brought him down after a gain of about 4. Oh no, DeHaan is down. This is the last thing you want to see.
You know, not a dot. Could be the wind. You hope it's a wind knocked out of him. I'm just saying from personal experience, sometimes you're like, you can't get your wind, and it's a horrible feeling. Just look at Coach Brown looking down at his all-state quarterback. I'm making that call ahead of time, by the way, before any of the all-state teams come out. Because if he's not one of your all-state quarterbacks, I like to see who is. No, this state is blessed with a bunch of really good quarterbacks. But for Division IV, taking your team to Ford Field to the ultimate game, pretty impressive.
Jacob DeHaan is one of the finest athletes Grand Rapids South Christian High School has ever had. Entering tonight, he had accounted for 50 touchdowns. He had run for 17 and thrown for 33. Tonight, he's thrown 2 touchdowns, one to Viss and one to Brinks, and that is awesome news to see him get to his feet.
Dr. Rubick, I think my diagnosis, although he's holding his shoulder a little bit. You get a look here. It looks like you can see him. It's just a little zone play for the quarterback. Looks good so far. Good hit there. Oh, then the ball right on his chest. He lands on the football. And I've been there, and it's a you're like you just can't get your win. So he definitely can be out for one play, and we'll see how long before he makes his appearance back in this game. Hopefully soon.
Yeah, you'd have to think DeHaan's coming back out. But for now, Carson Viss is the backup. He has thrown a pass tonight, for what it's worth. He'll keep it with him. And he'll spin ahead and turn a negative into a positive. Legat makes the tackle along with Burnett. Here comes DeHaan back in the field. And the crowd is going to love to see that. Throwing him right back in the fire here, having him throw 3rd down 6.
Oh, he's ready.
It's the final football game he'll ever play here. Don't let anything back now. Still plenty of time on the play clock. It's at 9. DeHaan gonna throw. Loaded up and throw low and incomplete. Maybe that shoulder's bothering him more than he'll admit.
That's going to force what we haven't seen. I'm not sure. Have we seen maybe one time South Christian punt? It's going to set up a 4th down and 7 deep in their own territory. But the beautiful thing is Jacob DeHaan's your punter, so he will stay in the game. But how easy is it if you want to run a fake punt when your quarterback's the punter?
Well, if you want to run a fake
they
punt,
like to do it they'd like to do it. This is going to be a punt, even though looks like it's going to be a pooch. You see him drop back a little bit.
And DeHaan gets one off the left side of his foot, and he gets a member's bounce. Jake Vermas tried to swat it forward a little bit, but they're going to bring that back to the 29. The teams, players, and coaches work hard all week getting ready for these ball games, and so do our officials. Local officials meetings across our great state every week help the men and women calling the action stay on top of their game. Let's all make sure to give them the respect they deserve. Better yet, why don't you become one? Visit the MHSAA website for more info, because without officials, it's just practice.
Yeah, and what a great job. I forget we had refs here, officials here tonight. That's when you know when you have a good crew, is you don't even know they're calling a game. The game takes care of itself. The officials let them play. They call what needs to be called. So outstanding job by this crew.
Simerson right, looking for real estate. Finds a little bit. Tenhoff, who had the monster sack in the last drive, makes the tackle here after a gain of about 4.
I want to get back to that punt. When you have a quarterback, you saw them line up in the shotgun like they normally do, Evan, and then he just had them go back a step or two. But what that does, when you show that, is teams don't put a return man back. So you're going to get all the roll all the time, because you don't know it. Anytime they could go for it because they have their offense in there. So I'm a big fan of that, the pooch punt.
Hard, quick drop. Throw left side caught. Macklem trying to make a man miss. He did finally make that man miss, and then a bunch of bodies came to get him. Cashin, the first man to him. Max Macklem, a sophomore that they love. Gain of 14, move the sticks.
Well, we've talked a little bit about Gavin Hart has not had the best night, but you're going to watch this. When that ball, let it go. When the ball comes out of his hand up top, Macklem isn't even out of his cut. Ball's gone, head's coming around. That's big time. That's throwing the guy open, having confidence, and throwing that ball a lot of times in practice, that same route.
Give to the up man, Burnett. That's the second time they've tried this play tonight. The first one went for a yard. This one went for nothing. 9 heists, and Bartman in on the tackle. I mean, look, Rob, there's basically half the third quarter to go, and of course all the fourth quarter. This is not panic time for Goodrich, but at some point you got to start putting points on the board.
Yeah, and it feels like the lead could be bigger than 14-0 the way the last quarter and a half have unfolded. But Goodrich is clawing and fighting and trying to save it, but they got to make a big play. They got to get a chunk play to get down the field.
Hart, the throw, incomplete. Tried to hit a diving Macklem. And again, Rob, to your point earlier, this is not the spot that Goodrich wants to be in. A team that loves to run it, stay ahead of the chains. You are not ahead of the chains when it's 3rd down and 10.
Nope, you're not. And we talked about the great timing to the left on that last play. I don't know if you noticed, when Hart went to throw the ball, he had a double clutch because Macklem wasn't out of his cut yet. So what we saw executed so well to the wide side, to the near side, wasn't quite as good.
Hart dropping back. Time on 3rd and 10. Now he rolls left. Looks downfield and throws it away. More pressure from South Christian late helped to alter the play. 55, Cameron Post in there again.
And the difference is when South Christian did this, they had 2 or 3 guys in the route down the field. This time, Hart's got nowhere to go with the ball. There's only 2 receivers down the field working, and there's probably 4 South Christian defenders in that same area. So Hart really just had to throw it away. And once again, another drive that started out promising that just fizzled for the Martians.
Kolanowski to punt it again. Moss back deep again. He's at the 20. Kalinowski sends it in the air again. Once again, angling the punt out of bounds near the 20. And with just about 5 minutes to go in the third quarter, South Christian's got the ball back. Trying to add another one to the mantle, going for their 4th state title ever tonight. That right there, number 88 in blue and white, is Jimmy Thal, a young man who has been through so much already in his life, and he is part of a really outstanding tradition at Grand Rapids South Christian. They hold something after wins called Victory Days. They take young men who have special needs, make them a part of the program, make them feel included in sailor football from a young age. That is about as big of a smile as anyone could ever have from Jimmy. He was living out a dream then, cheering on the older men on the football team for the South Christian Sailors, and look at him now, all grown up, on the sidelines and part of a team that's inching ever closer to a state championship. That right there is what high school sports are all about.
That's just cool. That's it, right there.
Jacob DeHaan back to the gun. You got 1st down and 10 here for South Christian. Give a rare one. Nate Brinks across the 30-yard line. Good gain on 1st down. Williams Valley combining on the tackle. Brinks caught a touchdown earlier tonight. He came into the game with 125 carries on the year. And he hasn't really been a focal point of the offense tonight. Got those 3 catches for 22 yards.
South Christian did a nice job of staying ahead of the sticks a little bit. You get 6 yards on 1st down. That really opens up a lot here on 2nd.
DeHaan keeps. Left. Tackled from behind by Phipps, but not before he gained a 1st down. Let's watch on this drive, Rob, as well. Jacob DeHaan on the last drive went down with an apparent injury. He came right back in the game, but when he tried to throw, he short-armed a throw, and he was shaking out his right shoulder and right arm after he threw. So let's see how much South Christian tries to throw on this drive.
I think he'll be fine. He did throw once. He threw once after that. It was not a great throw. He underthrew the guy, but he was also under pressure. He was moved off his spot and was thrown off balance a little bit. But this would be, I'd like to see him come out here and throw a little bit.
He'll try to throw on 1st down. There's a good-looking toss, and an even better catch. Seth Ritzema off the spiral from DeHaan.
Well, they go after DeSici, number 10 here, and we're going to see right here. You're going to watch Ritzema. He's just going to go down here, and it's just going to be a little outside shoulder throw, or back shoulder throw rather. Let it go. And DeSici keeping leverage inside. He opens a turn. The ball is kind of a back shoulder throw in the field of play. And I really think that was underthrown on purpose. I don't think he's trying to lead him. There wasn't a lot there. The receiver saw it, adjusted, made the play.
Reverse give for Moss. A ways to go. Got away from one, and he got escorted out of bounds by Valley. Legat was the one who blew up the play in the backfield.
Yeah, Zach Legat, number 50, did a nice job. A really nice job all the way around by Goodrich on that play. Stretching it, funneling it to the outside, finally running out of real estate was Ramas, and there's a good look at Zach, one of the guys we got to interview. Got $1 million smile, number 50. Got a younger brother who's coming through the program as well, who's going to be quite a player, they feel.
Zach's had a heck of a year. 9 sacks and 22 tackles for loss before tonight. DeHaan, throw got tipped. Guess who? Zach Legat again.
That's what I thought. Number 50, Zach Legat, does a nice job. The 6'3", 215-pound senior. There's a great look at Zach. We're going to get another look here in the replay. Right here on the bottom, he's just going to get his hands up real quick. He's trying to throw the slant behind it. Good job reading the quarterback, and that's a very athletic play. I'm not sure much is going to be there because Andrew Hamilton was breaking on that ball quickly from his cornerback. So Zach Legat, quiet for a little bit now. Caught him a couple times in the last few plays. Big 3rd and 13.
DeHaan, the shovel pass, and that was read right from the shoot. Brady Benson was not fooled.
When there's a couple options on plays, you have to have more than one thing covered. They're going to run it now. I think Benson is here. I'm guessing a little bit because I couldn't see the number. Let it go. No, wrong. Coming from the other defensive tackle. What a great job coming down the line. Had a 50-50 chance. And you see 54 in white getting penetration. And that's a second really good form tackle we've seen this Goodrich team impose upon their counterpart. Now this is 4th and long. I think we're going to see that pooch again. And now you see Kolanowski trying to get back there.
And he'll have a chance to return. He met outstanding coverage on the return. Mitchell Lindhout with the crunch.
Well, that's one of those 50-50 balls. If you're Caden Kolanowski, it's kind of going over your head, and you wonder if you let it go, is it going to bounce in the end zone and get you on the 20? He doesn't take that chance, and he catches it over the shoulder and tries to return it. A good job by Vermas forcing it back inside. Nice job hitting. But I tell you what, Kolanowski, that's a tough man now. He doesn't go down. He takes that hit on full force and actually bounces off it. And if there weren't more sailors there, he might still be running. So a great job by Caden Kolanowski, and also a physical play coming down the field. Number 52 in blue does a great job. That's Mitchell Lindhout.
Simerson left. And this time he only was able to gain a couple of yards. Teesma the first man to hit him, and then Tenhoff cleaned it up.
Yeah, I really think that time Simerson should have looked to cut it up a little bit quicker. This is a tough team to try to bounce a lot of runs on. When I say because they're so fast, their linebackers run, their defensive ends can run, they're lengthy. And it's tough when you try to bounce everything to the edge, Evan, because what they do is they just keep funneling you, and spilling it to the boundaries. Before you know, you're out of real estate.
Second down, 7. Simerson right. Lost a bunch. 9 Heiss blew it up. Gabe Kisner in there too.
There's a great look at Ethan Ninehouse. We're going to show you something, people. We're going to look here at a little trap block inside. Pause it. I want you to watch this man, because he's going to come here and they're going to pull, and you're going to see a collision. And 54, let it go, is going to get the better of it. He comes across, bam, take it on, get penetration. That's physical play. And that's Ninehouse really, really stepping his game up.
Loss of 4 makes it 3rd and long for a Goodrich team that doesn't want to be in 3rd and long. Hart dropping away back, setting up a screen to Simerson. Jay Simerson, first down. What a conversion for Goodrich, and what a call.
You called it, partner. What a great call, throwing that screen. You struggle getting the ball vertically. Your quarterback hasn't had a great day, but they're going to allow pressure. They're going to bring everyone in, entice them to get up the field, let it go. And they're going to leak number 30 in white out into the flat, and you see the big fellas getting out in front. Nice job picking up a block, and boy, that's timely call, and executed well enough to pick up the yardage.
And back to 30. Simerson cuts it up this time. And he'll gain 5 on first down. Teesma made the tackle, and off we go to the 4th quarter.
Yeah, and it's so tempting if you're Simerson to try to bounce it. We talked about that. That time he realized he had to cut it up. He picked up 5 yards, Evan, and you don't have to get it all in one play. And we're going to find out here as we head to the 4th quarter if Goodrich can dink and dunk their way down the field, or if they can somehow sum up a huge play. But it's going to be tough against this defense of South Christian, because they're fast, they're long, and they're hungry.
This special presentation of the MHSAA Football Finals on Bally Sports Detroit, brought to you by Feiger Law. Nobody knows the law like we do. Feiger Law. And by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Think Ford first. Grand Rapids South Christian inching closer to a state championship, but Goodrich has still got something to say. And frankly, Rob, no matter what happens for the Goodrich Martians tonight, This is a night that the Allward family will remember for the rest of their lives. Tom Allward, the head coach, has been coaching with his son Trevor for years, over 2 decades. And this year is all the more special. The grandson, right in the middle, Luke Allward, who's made a tackle tonight, is along for the ride too.
Yeah, how do you put a price on that, huh? If you're Tom Allward, head coach, as you look at Tom, you're coaching with your son, which has got to be just so great, and now you have an opportunity to coach your grandson as well. Pretty neat. Pretty good. You know, that's good stuff, Evan, and that's the stuff that really makes you like high school football. I mean, you can't fake this stuff. This is all true. There's a look at Luke, only a sophomore.
I think the only thing he's thinking about right now is the fact that his team is down by 2 scores and they need a big fourth quarter.
And how come my grandpa's so big and I'm 160 pounds yet? I mean, that's one of those things. He's got to wait for genetics to kick in.
Goodrich just picked up a first down on 3rd down to keep the drive alive. 2nd down and 5 now. Jay Simerson running right. Jay Simerson is alone when he gets those big legs going. And Goodrich has consecutive first downs on the drive. Post made the tackle, but not after a gain of 14.
And this is the ISO play they've been running all night. We're going to look. You're going to see the 2 lead blockers come. You're going to see them come right through here. This is where all the action is going to be taking place. Now let it go. Now I want you to be ready to stop it, because what Simerson's doing better now is he's reading this. You see him go to the edge, let it go, and cut it. Stop. Now he sees this kick out, and he's tucking it and going. So a really nice job getting up the field.
Right back to Simerson. This time it doesn't work. Caden Dykema again.
Really good job here. I think we're going to see number 45. Keep an eye on 45 as well as 33 in blue. Dykema, he's going to come all the way. You see him running through on a stunt, and that's a run blitz. A great job by number 33, Caden Dykema in blue. People say, boy, he read that quick. That's predetermined there. That's a linebacker on a run blitz getting through the gap.
Play action. Hart, throw in, a pick. DeHaan, the INT. He's thrown for 2 touchdowns tonight. And how about an interception, his 3rd of the season?
And I'm not sure who Hart was throwing that to. Number 11, Jace Williams in white, was kind of in the area, but DeHaan just playing center field from that safety position. He does a nice job of reading it. It's just really thrown up in the air for grabs. Number 5 right in the, actually number 5 on the corner there, doing a good job. And Williams knew when he saw the ball, he started becoming a defender right away. He knew he had no opportunity for it, and he was able to run DeHaan out of bounds. And once again, Goodrich gets a little bit of success. They just can't finish anything. They're getting a little 20, 30 yards in the middle of the field, but no points.
DeHaan fresh off the pick, back in the gun. Clapping his hands, handing to Brinks, who met a wall. Burnett made the tackle. He gained nothing. Jacob DeHaan, when this game is done, will have finished his football career at Grand Rapids South Christian. The good news for Sailor sports fans is he's going to be on the basketball team as well. But they'll miss Jacob as their quarterback. Multi-year starter, 52 total touchdowns, passing and throwing combined, passing and running combined this year. What a player. DeHaan given time. Down the middle, open man, it's caught. Inside the 20 goes Seth Ritzema. Kolanowski saved a touchdown.
Yeah, this is nothing fancy. This is a lot of vertical routes. You're going to see Ritzman, number 6. He's going to be right here, and he's just going to get vertical. Let it go. And right down the seam, and he gets behind a defender. A little bit of a jam put on by Chase Burnett, but not enough, and the safety doesn't have time. That's Kolanowski coming over the top to make a play.
Moving quick, DeHaan is brought down in the backfield. It's a good old-fashioned coverage sack. Legat finally got to him. Again, Legat this year has just been a menace in the Backfield for offenses. Just had his 10th sack of the year. He's another guy whose athletic career at Goodrich High School is not done. He plays on the hoops team, too. DeHaan running right. And Phipps wraps him up. Short game. 3rd down long. Remember as well, Grand Rapids South Christian tried a 45-yard field goal earlier tonight. Didn't work out. So now you wonder how they attack this scenario, Rob. This would be a 38-yard field goal if they don't gain anything.
Let's look at the 3rd and 13 first, or 3rd and 14. They've had some success with the seam routes. When they go trips, a lot of times they would go vertical with the middle receiver, the number 2, and he's been let go. Now they're going quads.
DeHaan with time. Diving attempt. That's a pick. Easton Phipps the takeaway, and Goodrich isn't dead yet. That is only the 7th interception of the season for Jacob DeHaan.
And Phipps does a nice job. And this little bit of pressure really forces DeHaan. You're going to look, let it go, just run it. He's looking for the crossing route. He's had some success with that. That's not a good throw. That's underthrown. And you know, Evan, you made a point about his shoulder, that maybe he did hurt his shoulder a bit, because that throw did not look like the ones we saw in the first half. But Phipps did a good job intercepting that ball and stopping the possible scoring. And a good job getting in there in white, number 36. That's Logan Durant getting pressure. When you can force a quarterback to move a little bit, it makes defending a lot easier.
Hard wants to throw. Gorgeous ball, but he just misses the intended target. Macklem working on DeHaan, and Gavin Hart just missed him.
Yeah, we were talking at halftime, a few of us, and I just saying is, if you're a quarterback, you can't overthrow all the time, because the receiver can't adjust to an overthrow. If you're right, if you're left, if you're short, a receiver can adjust to that ball. When you overthrow them, nothing we can do. I mean, it's incomplete.
2nd down 10. If Goodrich wants to score and slash this deficit in half, I gotta go 94 yards. Jace Simerson left. And he's escorted out of bounds after barely gaining anything. Caden Dykema, a thorn in his backside again.
It's that length. You mean, you're 6'6". Caden Dykema actually 6'5". I'm sorry, Ted Hoff at 6'6". They got some length now. The other Cam Post at 6'4". So those are a lot of long bodies. When you look at the corners, 6'2" and 6'2". So this is a very tall South Christian team, which makes it even harder to go east and west on. And I think you got to take a shot now. It's 3rd and 10. But you see the coverage. You see this. They really have the blanket coverage in the secondary, keeping stuff in front of them.
Hard rolling, stepping up, and throwing to an open man. This is Chase Burnett, and Goodrich, twice in the second half, on 3rd down and long, has found a way to convert.
Yeah, and this works out because they run everyone off on the defensive secondary of South Christian, and Chase Burnett's just going to leak into the flat, and he's an afterthought. He's not part of the initial read. You're just going to get people going down the field, getting vertical, and you see Chase Burnett, he just leaks into the flat, and he gets lost. He's lost in space, so to speak. And a great job, hats off to Hart on that time, keeping his eyes, keeping all his options open and finding them.
Hard rolling again. Tucks it up and then throws across the field. Incomplete.
Boy, it looked like he was almost out of bounds when he let that ball go. The officials are right there.
Ritzema.
That's a dangerous pass now.
Yeah, Ritzema was right near Williams, and I think Hart is feeling it a bit after that.
Another look here. You see, it's just a roll. He's got both backs. Burnett, Simerson trying to keep him protected. Boy, and that is a dangerous one. Anytime you throw back across your body, because all the flow of the defense is coming that way. It's coming from the inside out. And Jace Williams, the 6'4", 200-pound tight end for Goodrich, almost made a great catch.
Hard will throw again. Gavin's got time, and it's incomplete. Teasma nearly jumped the route and got a pick. Kolanowski, the intended target.
This is difficult because these are two-man routes. There's just not a lot of combinations, kind of. Nowadays, everyone likes to run crossing routes and cluster routes and 3-4 receivers. This is just a two-man route. You see, he tries to throw to Kolanowski coming on the back. He had not Teasma rather, but Jace Williams as the other guy. But that's a two-man route with 4 guys in secondary covering. So this is something that Goodrich is not used to doing. They've been able to run the ball and pound people all year. So this is out of character, and they're struggling a little bit in the passing game.
They have converted on consecutive third downs. Hard dropping back again and throwing to Kolanowski a little bit low, and I think Caden lost his footing as well as he tried to make that catch.
Yeah, he's going to be maybe a yard short, but I think in this situation here with 6:59 in the fourth quarter, it's a no-brainer. You're going to go for it. Now at 4th down and 10, you just...
And maybe punting here. Hart's
yeah, I know it's tough. You like to go for it, but you're 4th and 10 with a team that's not used to throwing the football when you're pretty much in a passing situation. They're going to punt it away and hopefully get a quick turnover or at least a 3-and-out.
Vermas back deep again. Kolanowski punting again. Jake Vermas on the return. Running right. Cross in midfield. And then a strong tackle on special teams by DeSici. 6:46 to go. South Christian with the ball back. A touchdown here, and they could smell a state championship. It's time for tonight's Menards Big Money Moments. We've got a few tonight for number 2 in blue. Jake Vermas, who had 28 catches on the year coming into tonight. It feels like he has that many in this game alone tonight.
Yeah, he's been the go-to receiver, and I like the fact that he's a grabber of the football, as you see right here. Strong-handed receiver, very athletic after the catch. This young man's got more football ahead of him. His career will not be done playing tonight if he chooses so. You can see the ability he has on the run through the catch. That's one of the hardest things for people to understand as a receiver, to run through the football, not to slow down as the ball arrives, Evan. And that's why Jerry Rice is considered the GOAT. No one ran through the catches like Jerry Rice.
7 catches, 152 yards tonight for Jake. And his family is going to watch back this game and go, did you hear Rob compare Jake to Jerry Rice?
I know, but his stats are like what I had in high school for 4 years, so that's a pretty good night.
Well, I mean, you made the Detroit Lions, so it worked out.
Paid off a lot of people over the years to do that.
That ball is on the ground, and Jacob DeHaan falls on it. That could have been a nightmare.
Oh, Coach Danny Brown has got to be saying, fellas, come on now. Some bad snaps, a bad miss exchange there. This game is ours to win. Only one that's going to beat us right now are ourselves, and they almost did that. Look at the quickness of DeHaan realizing. And that's what the replays do sometimes. It's like, do you have it? Do you not have it? I have it. You have it. And it pops on the ground. So nice job by DeHaan realizing that and getting on it to avert disaster.
DeHaan keeps cleanly this time, and he's got all the room in the world. Jacob DeHaan, touchdown. Number 5 in blue and white, 54 yards to the barn in the blink of an eye.
This is going to be the read. You're going to pull the backside. You're going to take the H-back and kick out as well. Let it go. He's going to read the defensive end. Works up the field. He just gets behind the lead block. He tucks it. A little quarterback power that time, and DeHaan shows he's got some jets. The arm may got nicked a little bit when he got hurt, but the legs are working just fine.
He just accounted for his 53rd total touchdown of the year. Jacob DeHaan, one more highlight in a South Christian career full of them. In one of the final football games this year in the MHSAA, Jacob DeHaan doing it again, and South Christian can smell it. I think Danny Brown was made for a night like tonight. Fourth-year head man at Grand Rapids South Christian. They're seeking their fourth ever state championship tonight. And once upon a time, South Christian was playing for a state championship at the Silverdome against Riverview. And a certain head coach was catching touchdowns for South Christian. Let's pay attention to the highlights. You're going to see number 2 in blue and white catch a touchdown at some point. The Sailors running all over Riverview in that game. I think here it is.
I think Coach Brown.
There you go.
Coach Brown would tremble a little bit if we knew we were showing highlights of him as a player, because very unselfish, talking to him, just so amicable, forthcoming with the information we needed, very positive with his team, and he's really taken his team to the next level this year. And I think he knew during the course of the season that he had something special. The way they were starting to come together and really offensively were becoming a juggernaut. And we've seen that here today. And that's why I think it's hats off to Goodrich. I mean, you're losing 21-0. You say, well, hats off. Well, this is a team that's scoring over 40 points every game against some really quality opponents. Goodrich did a good job. That man right there, Danny Brown. Congratulations, Coach. Doing a fine job now. Now, 5:53 left. Goodrich is going to be forced to do something they don't want to do, and that's putting the ball in the air. But you just can't Pac-Man the ball anymore. Even if your ISO game gets going, you don't have time to go 4 yards, 5 yards to crawl back in this game. You're down 3 scores.
Nate Brinks caught a touchdown earlier tonight. It was the first one. Now he's kicking deep. Once again, Nate Brinks with an outstanding kick. He's also one of the punters on the team as well. Haven't seen a lot of punts tonight from South Christian. Let's get a message from the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers.
Returning AZ Plan lessees can order an F-150 today and lease it for $299 a month for 24 months. Only at your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Think Ford first.
All right, Rob, so the scoreline is what it is. Goodrich in the midst of an historic season. First time they've ever been here. There is 5:53 to go. You got all 3 timeouts, but you need points, and you need them fast.
Well, this is more of a spread set. You got a 2x1 or 2x2, something that they don't practice a lot.
First time they've run this formation tonight. Hart spins his way ahead. It's not a sack, but Sawyer Tenhoff has been setting up shop in the backfield in this second half.
Well, they got some guys in the end with Cam Post, and we talked about Ninehouse, and we haven't talked a lot about Gabe Kisner, but the big fella up front, he's one of the reasons that everything gets pushed to the outside to allow those athletic linebackers and defensive ends to make the play. And, you know, Van Solkema we've talked about. So this is a defense that is very active, very athletic.
Back to the gun they go. Hart on second down. Throws a pick. This is a house call for Jake Vermas. The first interception of the season for Jake Vermas is a pick 6 to salt away a state championship.
Well, Jake's coming off getting hugs from his coach, saying, fella, that's the final nail in the coffin. This conversion is going to be a 28-0 lead. And, you know, we knew Goodrich, out of character. They're not a team that's going to run 2x2, spread you out, throw the ball around. But South Christians control the game and taking what Goodrich wants to do away. And when you do that, that's when you end up on top.
Extra point up and good. Nate Brinks is tired. That student section is going to be smiling all the way until school starts again in a couple of days.
Well, Jake Vermas, this is going to be out to your right. Hart's going to step into it. He's going to throw it. And he just really overthrows the receiver, DeSici, that time. And that's what is easier you can get on a pick 6 for that young man. But he caught the ball, and he finished the play. And here's another look. DeSici come out of a cut, and he just jumps the route, playing zone. not a man coverage, sitting back, and that's a luxury when you're up 3 scores as they were 21-0. You can sit back at 10 yards and play quarters, play zone across the back, keep everything in front, read the quarterback, break on the ball. And that young man, it all comes down to, Evan, we don't always talk about enough is football IQ, though. You know, you can coach kids all you want and put them in positions to make plays, but sometimes it's up to them to read plays, to read the quarterback, read with the combination route to what's going on. And that time Vermas did it. He ends up with a pick 6.
Breaks to kick it off again on a night where South Christian returns to the state championship game. And they're 5:07 away from a 4th state championship. First time tonight, Goodrich will return it. This is Caden Kolanowski. And he's up near the 30. Make sure to keep up with everything MHSAA on social media. Look them up on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. For football finals, updates, event announcements, video highlights, and high school sports news from around the state, it's the best way to connect with the MHSAA every day. Rob, what do you know about TikTok?
Well, you got a grandfather clock. Is that like tick, tick? Isn't that?
Not quite.
I know my brother tore his bicep. He's a teacher in the UP. He was trying to catch another teacher. They're doing an 8-second TikTok. Now he has some surgery on his bicep. So that's what I know about TikTok. Please do not bring it up again.
I refuse to get a TikTok because I miss mine. I don't think Rob knows what that is either. Middle screen. It's caught by Kolanowski, who made a man miss. And he's crunched down as he approached the 35.
This South Christian team is physical. You know, it's easy to be physical when you're 6'6" and 6'5" and 6'4" and athletic. You can close on plays and you can finish plays. And that young man coming in, Mr. Hart, he's had a rough night. You know, it's been a tough go, and you know he's overthrown some balls. You know, you can't sugarcoat that. But he's also been under a tremendous amount of pressure, trying to roll out, trying to extend plays, and just a little bit outgunned up front a little bit is this Goodrich team with some really good, long, athletic defensive linemen.
Kolanowski, how about a flea flicker? Somebody called Boise State. Simerson with a big play.
I tell you, I've seen that play a lot. I don't know if I've ever seen that play timed out so perfectly. That was absolutely perfect timing. You're going to see this ball is delivered, and Simerson's going to go right by in stride. And what a job by Kolanowski. Boy, that's a good call by the official because he did step out back on the 46-yard line. That's a great call. I didn't know that until I saw the replay. And you're going to see he's going to cross midfield. But right there, he stepped out in the end zone. The other view we had, you can see it more clearly. But bottom line is still a nice play to move the chains.
Hart, long throw, pass caught. Kolanowski cuts it up. And this is the best looking drive of the night.
Yeah, well, because you're seeing a little bit of when I say but you're seeing softer coverage, playing off, keep in front of them. But these Goodrich receivers have to understand, all the bad stuff happens when you catch the ball outside, back towards the middle of the field. That's where all those blue jerseys are, and they're running out to see where you're at. Make a move, get up the sidelines, or get out of bounds because there's a lot of trouble waiting in the interior.
South Christian has cycled through the depth chart as well. DeHaan has left the game. Vermas has left the game. Post has left the game. Drop for Hart's. Time. Throw. Right side. Incomplete. Kolanowski tried to slip by the D, but Teasma had the coverage.
Yeah, starting to get a few of the backups in the game is South Christian. And what a throw that would be to say, you know, you got on Ford Field and got to play in the state championship game. This game is settled. There's no question, 28-0. South Christian's going to come out of here as the Division IV state champs, and that's pretty impressive. Along with our other champs, who do we have? We had De La Salle in Division II. We had Ottawa Lake Whiteford, I believe, in Division 8. In Division 6, another team from Grand Rapids made the trek across the state. Grand Rapids West Catholic got the title.
Whistle before the play. They got in a delay of game.
Delay game, offense, number 3. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
You know, that's a great point you bring up, Rob, about all the champions here today. Been a great day for the west side of Michigan, but score is what it is. Grand Rapids South Christian's going to win another state title. I do not want it to be lost tonight. What a season Goodrich has had. This is the best season the school has ever had, and there is nothing for everyone on that staff and everyone on that team to hang their heads about tonight.
Absolutely, I agree, Evan.
Drop back for Hart. Gavin throws it down the sidelines. Kolanowski had it knocked out of his hands. Nathan Fenema had the breakup. Coach Allward giving Gavin Hart a high five. He knows that was accurate.
Yeah, here's what I like. I went to a game. I did Eastern Central today. Eastern won, but it got real chippy towards the end. But I'm going to tell you what I like about high school football. This is Kolanowski, a guy that's battled the entire day. He doesn't come up with the catch. And you're going to see number 7, Austin Teasma, come in. Hey, good try, bud. And I can respect that. You know, people talk about sportsmanship. I hated losing more than I liked winning. But when I'm done, I had no problem saying, dude, good game. You know, it's not hard to do because you have to respect your opponent, and that's a nice gesture by Teasma.
4th down, Hart rolling right. Gavin a run. Gavin Hart lowers his shoulder. He didn't get the 1st down. Cashin made the tackle. And it's South Christian ball with 3 minutes to go. Let's watch here, Rob, as South Christian likely touches the ball for the final time tonight. If we see those seniors one more time or if some new faces get to touch the field.
We're going to see a lot of new people in the game.
I think all those seniors on that team are realizing they're about to win a state title.
You know, in the old days, it was easy when they brought the subs in because you could see all the dirty uniforms coming out of the game and the clean ones are coming in. You're like, okay, he hasn't played. But now in a indoor arena with field turf, everyone looks the same, even at the end of the game.
Danny Brown, the head coach for South Christian, has got a smile from ear to ear. It's about to come out. He's a football coach. He's still smirking a little bit. Never quite pleased. Carson Viss giving to one of the new men into the game for South Christian. That's Sam Barr on the carry. This is a really cool moment, Rob, for South Christian as well. A team that, frankly, always expects to contend for a state championship. You get some of these guys with experience late in a game. Hey, we won it. Now the expectation is you're going to lead us back here next year.
I like how they look up the scoreboard. They realize they're on the TV feed, the scoreboard in-house, and they see themselves. They get smiles ear to ear. And a lot to smile about for the Sailors tonight.
Lamazou on the carry. Across the 40-yard line up to the 42. Rob, I can speak from personal experience when you're playing a state championship game at Ford Field. You look up at the board, and this doesn't usually happen at a
Do we have
game.
A graphic of Evan Stockton's stats that we can put up here on this?
They don't exist.
That'd be cool. Obviously you played here.
I did. Yeah.
With Detroit Catholic Central. I probably called that game.
We lost twice. Thank you for the reminder.
Yeah. Hey, better lose twice than be here. I mean, look at the Buffalo Bills. They lost 4 Super Bowls, but as a Lions fan, I would have taken that.
Well, there were a bunch of Bills fans here yesterday. They got to go home happy. On the ground again, stretch wrong to the left. That ball may have been out. Nope, South Christian held on to it. Charlie Skur on the carry. Grand Rapids South Christian, believe it or not, had not been here since 2014. They won it back then. 2002, 2012, 2014. They made the state final every year from 12 to 14. That's when John Wasink was the quarterback. He went on to play at Western Michigan.
Right behind you.
Jimmy Thole and all of his teammates.
Wave.
That is the best play of the night. Goodrich will touch it one final time. Couple of snaps remaining in the best season in school history. It's time now for tonight's player of the game, brought to you by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Jacob DeHaan is a living legend at South Christian High School. In his final ever game, the man did it again.
He did it with his arm, he did it with his legs, he did it with his brain, his IQ. He had everything involved in this game today, and that's just a really, really good high school football player and a tremendous leader. You know, you talk to Coach about what certain people bring to the game, and he had nothing but expletives to say for his quarterback, Jacob DeHaan. Just, you know, I said, what do you like? Coach on the field, prepares with leads by example, great positive leader, highly competitive. The bigger the moment, the better his play. So, Coach, really foretelling what we're going to see here by Jacob DeHaan.
Couple final plays for the Goodrich Martians. It's Jace Simerson on the run. You knew that man would battle until the bitter end. The senior running back who ran for 5 touchdowns last week and 20 this season, with another run of 14 yards in a football career that they'll remember at Goodrich High School for a long time. They'll remember this team at Goodrich High School forever. Best season in school history. Made the semis for the first time ever. Made the state finals for the first time ever. But tonight they just ran into an awesome football team.
Yeah, you always like getting new blood here at Ford Field, because there's a lot of the programs that are power programs in the state you see year after year, and South Christian being one of them. So for the Goodrich Martians to make an appearance, that's pretty cool.
Credit to Goodrich for getting here, but tonight belongs to the Sailors of South Christian. Make room in the trophy case. It's their 4th ever football state championship. Congratulations to those 2 outstanding football teams for getting to this moment. When Danny Brown was hired 4 years ago, he says this is the best job in the world. I think that man has a little bit more job security now. The final score from tonight's Division IV state championship, the Goodrich Martians falling short to Grand Rapids South Christian 28-0. Jimmy Thal, Nate Brinks, and all of his teammates are state champions.
Yeah, a tremendous performance led by that man we see right there, Jacob DeHaan. Put up some big numbers and made plays when he needed to make plays, and was able to overcome some negative plays, some bad snaps, getting poor field position, some fumbles and so forth. Never got rattled, never got phased. Were able to right the ship, so to speak, for the Sailors, and move the chains and continue drives.
Keep in mind as well that this is just day 1 of the MHSAA football finals. We crowned 4 state champs today, and we will crown 4 more state champs tomorrow. Grand Rapids South Christian, our final champ today. West Catholic won before today's game. Whiteford also winning today with De La Salle. Tomorrow we start it again 10 a.m. Jackson Lumen Christi taking on Traverse City St. Francis. Highly anticipated Division I final. The Belleville Tigers going for back-to-back against the Caledonia Fighting Scots and Mason McKenzie. Gladwin beat Grand Rapids Catholic Central to get here. They're taking on Frankenmuth, and then in the nightcap, King Muskegon will be.
I think this is the most intriguing to me, because you have 2 teams that have been trying to get here for years. But this one, these are the game of the gods, so to speak. These are teams that have been perennial power, state champions. You know, Chrissy's got a whole trophy case full of championships at different divisions. Traverse City St. Francis, also a lot of trophies. Now they've kind of merged. They're meeting in Division 7. So Herb Brogan, Josh Sellers, that's what we're going to kick off the day with tomorrow, and that's going to be a dandy. So get up, get your coffee, Evan, get your donut, whatever you have, and get ready, because we're going to watch some outstanding high school football at 10 a.m. on Bally Sports.
Yeah, that'll be Rob and Shep on the call, and they'll also have the Division I game tomorrow. Dan Dickerson, Justin Sasante will bring you that great Gladwin Frankenmuth game, and yours truly and Grant Perry will have the nightcap. Dante Moore's final ever high school game at Detroit King tomorrow. against a Muskegon Big Reds team that may as well set up a con here. They're pretty much here every year.
Yeah, but if people don't realize, I think they've only won once or twice in their last 10 trips here. So they've been the bridesmaid. They're trying to become the bride again here this year because they've been in second a lot. Shane Fairfield does a great job for the Big Reds.
Kai Guy will have something to say about it as well. Quarterback from Muskegon. Another West Side team trying to win a state championship. Give a couple to the West Side tonight. West Catholic won in the game before, and South Christian wins tonight. Congratulations, gentlemen. Fourth ever state championship for the Sailors of Grand Rapids South Christian, winning the Division IV state championship tonight over Goodrich, 28-0. For Rob Rubick, Director Chris Rozalewski, happy I said that last name right, and our director Max Hinson, Evan Stockton, saying so long and thanks for joining us from our entire hard-working Bally Sports Detroit crew. Coming up tomorrow, the Division VII state title game will kick it off. Jackson, Lumen, Christie, and Traverse City, St. Francis. Kickoff coming 10 in the morning. We'll have 4 more football finals tomorrow on Saturday. All on Bally Sports Detroit. We will see you tomorrow back here at Ford Field bright and early. Get some rest. Have a great rest of your night.